into now the 1980s, 81, 82. This is going to be the next range of super reels. Super reels is where they take another jump in the quality aspect. You're going to find yourself with the best way to determine a super reel is then you're going to see a change on the headstock. You're going to see the Greco logo, but you're going to see super reel written in a very similar script as what a Les Paul would be. Those initiate just those 3 years of some of the more higher spec, the most accurate copies of what a Les Paul would be at that time. So again, you have that EG number system that's going to go through those. But where they made a name for themselves is they took it a step further, and after EG 1000, they started to make the EGF range, and that started to be considered a flame top. So those are going to be heavily flamed. The higher the number, the more specced out it's going to be. It's going to be a beautiful guitar. These are the rare ones. These are the ones that are expensive. These are the ones that you see pop up on like an EGF. 850 is kind of bottom of the line, but you're going to see them go into the 1200s, the 2500s, 2600s. There might even be more, but just bear in mind these are the crazy ones. These are the ones that look the nicest. They might even be almost direct examples of like something from 59 that somebody might seek out. So they're going to have a heavier price tag because they're rare and all that jazz, but they are going to be probably the top of the line of what Greco had made at that time. After 82, this is where company takes a spin, different ownership, whatever, but they get CNC machines. So up until this point, everything's still kind of handmade, lots of great manufacturing principles and techniques, but the CNC machines come into play and they start to go into what's considered kind of the mint collection era. This is where the headstock's going to change again, so you'll see some differences there depending on the age. That's around 85. So 85 up until the 90s is where you start to see these things kind of top off. You'll see a big diamond in the headstock. That's where things change. Like I said, you're still going to have the same number system as the EGs, and you're going to have different models. You're going to see some customs where there's more binding going on, kind of like a Les Paul custom. Typically they're going to be more solid colors, but you're going to see everything from affordable to a little bit more higher end prices. As we near the end of the production line of all these guitars in the beginning of the 90s, they shift gears just a slight bit. They're still making the super reels and these other EG mint collection guitars, but they decided that they needed some more affordable range guitars, and they were going to do something different to the headstock to differentiate, as opposed to adding a number system, just to make things more confusing, it seems like. So in the 1990, 91, maybe 92, you're going to see two things pop up where it's called a Rock Spirits or a Superpower brand. They're considered in the super reel line, but they're going to be, again, chambered body. They would be equivalent to something that would be like an EG 500. So where they take the turn is the necks are going to be bolt-on. They're going to be a hybrid bolt-on. You'll see two screws underneath the pickup cavity where the joints meet, and then one screw that goes right through the back of the body to connect the neck together, instead of like a plate and a four-screw system. Pretty interesting. There was some glue involved, so it's like a hybrid. Pretty interesting. Those guitars have some really cool flame tops. There's some interesting ones that pop out of that area. There's not very many, but those are, again, kind of the affordable side of things. And as those taper off after the 1992, you kind of get into the lawsuit era, and they've completely changed their headstock to the open book to something else. They've done a bunch of different things to their headstocks to get out of that infringement category. And then they extend into the 90s with just a lot of other stuff. And that kind of covers all that. So now that I've caught you up, and maybe you're thinking, sweet, where do I get one of these, or how do I get one of these? I'll have some further content later down the line on a couple websites to utilize. You can use the internet, you'll probably figure it out, but I'll take you through my methods and how I've kind of gone through the research over the last few years and kind of been able to pick apart what's good, what's not so good, things that you'll watch out for in my process. But you can pull the trigger on some pretty damn nice stuff, depending on how you're going to import it out, because you have some shipping costs involved with that as well. But the quality of the instrument stands the test of time. You're going to find yourself in a much better boat than some of these other overseas options. And that's just what I want to provide for you. And with that said, take a look at them, do your research, hit me with some questions if you have anything after this. All right. Thanks for checking this out. I'll catch you later in the next one.